Hi, I'm Charlie from Charlie B Books, and I'm here with Thais from Tata Life Pages, and we're going to talk today about Bookstagram and books and how they've affected her lives. Her life. Yeah, her life.
Hi, everybody.
My first question, I guess, is what was your favourite book as a child?
So actually, as a child, my favorite book was actually comic books. I used to read a lot of comic books, and my mom would always buy them for me. Even when we moved everywhere around the world, she would order them from Brazil and have them delivered 5 comic books a month. So that was actually what started my love for reading, was comic books. Yeah.
Any comic book character in particular?
Yes, it's actually a Brazilian comic book, Turma da Mônica. I don't know if you know it, but all the Brazilian people watching will definitely know it.
Perfect. And do you still read comic books now, or has your favorite genre kind of changed?
So no, I don't read any comic books anymore. Usually nowadays I read mostly romance, but all genres of romance. So like fantasy romance, paranormal romance, dark romance, and all the subgenres like white shoes, monster, alien. The spicier the better.
I don't blame you for that. So have you got a favourite romance book at the moment that you're currently reading?
My favorite series of all time is actually a fantasy romance series by Raven Kennedy, the Plated Prisoner series. But I also love What Lies Beyond the Veil by Harper Woods, and From Blood and Ash, and A Court of Thorns and Roses, all the fantasy romances. Now at the moment, I am reading a new release by L.J. Shan. Her newest release, Dark Romeo, which is also very nice. She writes really dark romance, which is really good.
What is it about dark romance that kind of drew you to it?
I think it's the how forbidden it is, and how I don't know, exhilarating it is. It's like something that, of course, we wouldn't want in real life. A mafia man to kidnap us. I assume most women would not want that in real life. But it's just so exciting to read it in a fictional world, of course, because it's like a what-if situation that would never happen in real life most of the time.
So you joined Bookstagram back in 2018, I believe.
Yes.
What was your reason for joining Bookstagram?
I've always read a lot, and at that time in 2018 I had a surgery, and I was reading double time, like 2 books a day almost. It was crazy because I was resting in bed a lot after my surgery. And then after reading the books, I had nobody to talk to about them, because I don't really know any people in real life, any of my friends that also read books. So then I was looking on Instagram to see if anybody was also reading the same books, and I stumbled on a photo of a fellow Bookstagrammer, Ken X Dance Reads. And then when I saw that she took a beautiful photo of a book in this gorgeous setup, and I was like, oh my God, why can't I do that? I also have tons of books at home, a bookshelf. I can also take photos and talk to people about books and stuff. And that's when I started my account.
Amazing. And you've said on your profile multiple times that your husband helps you with your account, and he's not a reader himself. So how did he find creating the content with you when he's not a reader?
Yeah, so indeed. So I started Bookstagram before I met him. So when I started dating him, I already had the account. So from the very beginning, he already knew I was a book blogger, that I love to read. But he always said, I don't like reading. And I'm like, okay. But he knew how much this was my passion, and how much this really made me happy, especially in the last 2 years when it really started growing and everything was doing so well. And then I asked him for help, and he said, yeah, let's do it. And in the end, he saw that it was actually fun to film together. So he doesn't like to read, but he enjoys filming with me. He finds the ideas funny. He likes to brainstorm trends and audios and see what we could do together. So that part he really enjoys. Yeah.
Oh, that's really lovely.
Yeah.
And so how have you said you've grown over the last 2 years, but how have you found the community overall? Did you find it very welcoming in the start?
Oh, yes, for sure. The Bookstagram community in general is super welcoming. When you first start your account, you get tons of messages of welcome to Bookstagram for the first month. Yeah. And then everybody is really supportive. You do chats with everybody. You do shout outs for shout outs and giveaways together. So there's lots. Nowadays, I have so many group chats on Instagram over the years that we're just accumulating. Yeah. And it's really, really easy to meet people and make friends. Basically, just start commenting on their photos, and one day you already notice you're already friends. So it's really easy.
So obviously, one of the biggest things on your account is your bookcase that you've got set up, and it's so beautiful. And I've seen it. I first saw it on TikTok actually, and then found you over on Bookstagram afterwards. But how did you come to have this beautiful library?
Okay, so yeah, indeed, my book talk has been started to grow also in the past year, but I started as a Bookstagrammer. Book talk was the second thing. First, I used to have IKEA bookshelves at home, just normal horizontal shelves. And then last year we bought a house, and I told my husband it would be a dream if we could have custom built-in bookshelves. I already had the account for 2 years already. And then he said, yeah, you know what, let's do it. And then I went after a company that came and measured everything. And I told them, let's look for the weirdest, quirkiest wall that I have in my house, because I want angles. Yes. And I don't know why, I just love libraries with angles. It makes them, it gives them personality, I think. Crazier. It makes them look, it makes them crazier. So when I went to my 4th floor in my house, there's this roof is slanted, of course. And then I said, let's do it here. This wall is perfect. And then we did it there. And now it's almost in every single one of my videos. Yeah.
Also, Kaz, your cat, seems to get in every one of the videos as well.
Yes. And now he loves that corner. I think it's because he likes how isolated from the rest of the house it is. So then he makes a comfy little space for him. And whenever I'm there, when I go filming, he follows me and goes and lays down. So he's always there in my videos, naturally.
He's adorable. Yeah. So how have you found, so you said you had a surgery. Did you find that your books kind of helped impact maybe the mental health of that? And then carrying on through COVID, the mental health in that experience as well?
For sure, especially through COVID, I was reading much, much more because, of course, we couldn't go out. We couldn't really see people. So escaping to books was really the way to go. And I feel like it really helped because I could really let my mind go and go somewhere else that made me really happy. And books really helped me also on the recovery of my surgery. And I did have a time in my life that I wasn't reading so much, and that was when I was in university, because I was studying so much and going out with friends every weekend. So reading became a second plan from when I was 17 until 23. And then after that, I took back reading when I started working again.
Always worth it to keep it up. Any tips for people kind of joining Bookstagram? I know we talked earlier about commenting on others' accounts and kind of getting involved in that way.
Yes, so really reach out to people and comment, and engaging is a nice way to meet people and meet friends. If you really want your posts to do well, the algorithm is changing constantly, so you always have to keep on track of the trends and the audios and the reels and photos. Always natural lighting is the best tip I have. But it's really being yourself, I think, because people always tell me oh, how did you manage your accounts to grow so much, and how did you become a book blogger, a book influencer? And I tell them, when I started my account, I have zero purpose of becoming a book blogger. I just started because I loved books and I wanted to talk to people about it, and that with time just came naturally, I guess. Yeah,
you didn't have to kind of build on the follow for follow and stuff like that, or they have community follows. I think it's just kind of a natural organic build for you.
Yes, for sure, it was just natural. I didn't really participate in the follow for follows because I think that's kind of although on TikTok I did on the beginning some follow parties on TikTok, but on Instagram I didn't need to do that. No.
So what are you currently reading at the moment then?
So I'm reading the new one by LJ Shan, and also The Boy I Once Hated, which is another dark taboo romance by C.R. Jane and Ivy Fox. I really like C.R. Jane. She's really good. Yes, and what are you reading?
At the moment I've just started a book called Storyland, which is the rewritten myths of Britain, which I'm very excited about. It's something I'm interested in, but I've not really read much on, so it's kind of the folklore and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah, I haven't read much of that genre. I usually read almost like 90% of the time something with romance.
yeah, I just finished My Policeman, the Harry Styles one that came out, and that was really clever.
Okay, nice.
Nice. I really liked it. So are you a Kindle reader as well, or do you just tend to stick to paperbacks? Or?
Actually, I think I have mine right here. Where is it? Did I lose it? No, I am definitely not on a Kindle, but a pocketbook.
Yes.
Where is it? I was sitting on it. I lost it. It's here. But I prefer much more to read ebooks because I'm a night reader. Yeah. And my husband goes to sleep at 10:30, and I want to continue reading in bed. Yeah. So I use of course it has its own light, so that's the lifesaver. Or else if I have to keep the light on, he would throw pillows at me and just start punching me. So that's really good. And also because it keeps the books intact. It doesn't, because when I'm reading with paperbacks, I can't read without destroying the cover because I fold them back to hold with just one hand. So if I have an ebook, that's better. And I also recently started reading audiobooks. That's something that I started in the last 3 months, and I'm actually enjoying it. It's depending on the narrator.
Okay, fair enough. So I've seen quite a lot on Bookstagram about book boyfriends. And as a romance reader, do you find that you become more attached to specific characters and have comfort characters?
Yes, for sure. I have a thing for the male leads always. Not only the male lead, but any other male secondary character that's morally gray and snarky and witty. I already fall in love. So I have really a thing for the male character. So I collect book boyfriends. I have a list of book boyfriends that I love, and they all have similar personalities. Of course, they're all the bad boyish style of book boyfriends. And that's the first one that attracts me in a book. And I always put myself in the place of the female reader when I'm reading, so I imagine that I'm her. Which makes it even more enjoyable.
I don't blame you for that. That's what I do too. I think that's quite a common thing for people to form attachments to fictional characters. Do you have a favourite book boyfriend at the moment, or is that too hard a question?
No, I think my all-time favorite would be Commander Rip from the Plated Prisoner series. He's a morally gray villain who is actually not really a villain type of boyfriend, and very possessive and protective, so would burn the world for her, that kind.
I love that. That's
but
brilliant.
Of course, Rhysand from A Court of Thorns and Roses comes close second, even though it's been a while since I read A Court of Thorns and Roses. I would have to read again to refresh him on my mind, to remind myself how much I love him.
I've only read the first book in that series so far, but I'm waiting to get caught up with the rest. That's it for today. So thank you so much. I'm going to stop the recording now.